Prime Minister Mark Carney announcing plans for a massive increase in Canada's military spending. He's proposing military and security spending in Canada that would be almost 4 times what it is now. Al Sweeney is following the story for us tonight and joins us live in studio with the latest. Al.
Matt, Carney announced a 10-year plan today aimed at getting to the level of military spending NATO is demanding from its members. That would see Canada spend 5% of its gross domestic product per year on military and security by 2035. The Prime Minister made the announcement at a NATO meeting in the Netherlands.
Canada's leadership must be defined not just by the strength of our values, but by the value of our strength.
He shied away from specific figures, saying a lot can change over the next 10 years. But after reaching 2% of GDP military spending this year, he's aiming for 5% by 2035. In today's dollars, that would go from $40 billion a year to $150 billion a year, expanding the military and Canadian industry.
Canada does have enormous industrial capacity, but that will grow significantly. As our allies seek to increase their military readiness, they will buy more equipment and technology made in Canada by Canadian workers.
Part of the spending would be on infrastructure, not necessarily directly for the military.
That means ports, airports, infrastructure to support the development and exportation of critical minerals, telecommunications, and emergency preparedness systems.
A defense strategist with the Royal Military College and Queen's University says the spending would help improve Canada's reputation in the world and Canada's view of the military.
A very positive impact, something that the Canadian military hasn't seen really since post-World War II time period, possibly around Korea, and before that, World War II. I mean, it's that kind of jump. The hope that this will finally bring the Canadian military back into recognition in Canadian society as a desirable and laudable career choice for people.
The billions in spending could mean higher taxes or more borrowing. But McMaster economist Colin Mang says it could still pay off.
By investing in new infrastructure, that's going to improve our workforce productivity. It's going to raise living standards here in Canada. It may actually end up paying for itself because as people's incomes rise, then naturally the amount of tax revenue increases as well.
The head of NATO says the 5% spending figure for its members is going to be tough, but has to be done.
Given the threat from the Russians, given the international security situation, there is no alternative. We've got to do this.
President Donald Trump has been calling for this level of defense spending and calls these decisions by NATO members like Canada a big win. But in Canada, there's the question of whether people are going to go along with putting billions into the military instead of hospitals, schools, roads, etc. Carney says there will be a review and possibly an adjustment of this spending in 2029, along with a conversation about what Canadians want to spend their money on. And that review could come up when Donald Trump is no longer U.S. president.